When reading, beginnings of a book never really hold my interest, but the endings, they always do. The tiny ideas that the author scatters throughout the book culminate into a wholesome, elaborate last act. When everything comes together, when you can visualize all the ideas in one space. Alas, life does not work like that. We can't jump right to the end. With life, that would be counterproductive. So, endings are beautiful, and the process of reading through to that end causes all sorts of emotional upheaval. But still, you go through it for the transformation you yearn at the end. The metamorphosis from beginning to end. The pits and falls, the highs and lows. It's the journey that makes the end even more fulfilling. So this feels like a good time to tackle something that needs my attention. Ever since people started recognizing me as an artist, I wanted to create a space for myself where all my art houses and my thoughts can mull in that space and my creativity can flourish. So this weekend, let's begin the journey to create my very own art studio. I can't believe I'm showing you guys the mess, but this is my room of shame. A spare room where everything I don't have a home for goes. And this is what I want to convert into my permanent studio. Since we bought the house a few years ago, I knew this would be my studio space, but I got busy with work and life and never really got to set it up properly. I would mostly end up making my studio anywhere I want to, in the lounge or on the sofa or where I felt comfortable. But disjointed nooks, though convenient, are not very good for the flow of process. When we moved to the house, all the extra stuff that we didn't have space for moved in here. But today that changes. The first thing for me to do is a super deep clean. The thing that was causing me the most anxiety was all the stuff scattered everywhere. So all I had to do was select a corner and begin. Oh, there's Moisa. She is wet. We gave her a bath. We were away for a few months back home to India, and so she was at the cattery for a long time, and so she was smelling a bit, and so we just wanted to give her a bath, which she does not enjoy. She endures, but she's not happy at the moment. Growing up, my grandma, I call her Nani, always taught me, if a thing is in a good condition, then you keep it and use it in some other way. Upcycle, But to maintain the balance between keeping stuff and using it for another day and just keeping it, I haven't got there yet. And what you see is a lifetime of accumulation of stuff that I potentially thought I could use in a painting or in a crafting situation. Basically, there's a lot of stuff that I have to get rid of. Some things have seen better days and it's best to get rid of them, so they're going straight to the bin. But there are other things that are definitely usable, like books and craft items that I can keep or donate. As life goes on, you realize the layers of life you have lived and will live in the future have their basis in metamorphosis, in change. Human nature is contradictory. On the one hand, it desires constant and comfort. On the other, transition and transference. To dive in and reappear somewhere else, somewhere better, somewhere more evolved. The last few months, I have been reflecting on my journey so far and what I want to focus on going further. And every time I think about it, I know art is at the top of that list. I have always believed an artist's mind is constantly filled with concepts and ideas and processes. You may look at me from the outside and see a calm, silent person, but my mind is running a creative marathon. I knew in order to make myself more productive, I needed order in the chaos, an appropriately functional space where I can just create. Creativity is thinking up new things and trying things in your own way. I have always enjoyed painting different styles, using different mediums. Not as efficiently as I could, but exploration always fuels my creativity. When I look at other accomplished artists, most of them have established their niche. Their focus is mostly on one style and one medium, and in conclusion, they create beautiful art that feels accomplished. So, I always come unstuck. Am I doing it wrong? Clearly, I haven't found my niche yet, and I don't know if I ever will. But I came across an artist on YouTube, Ashley King. She's a well-established YouTuber and artist. I will link her in the description, so go check her out. Anywho, while I was watching her video, she said something that resonated with me. Not all artists have niches. Sometimes exploring other avenues gives you more practice and also grows you. And I had a light bulb moment. If I keep thinking only in perfection will I put my art out there, I will never do it. Part of starting up a YouTube channel was to force myself to keep practicing and exploring, trying something new and different, share it with you guys. So thanks, Ashley. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. And in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. It's a new day. I was so exhausted yesterday, but it was worth it. Look how open and bright the space is looking. I also gave away all the extra furniture that was sitting in the room to a hospice shop. So hopefully it can find another home. Once the clutter parted, I could visualize spaces in the studio. The architect's brain kicked in, and I realized this is going to be a much larger project than I thought. But that's okay, we can enjoy the journey together, maybe in a couple of vlogs. One space I really wanted in the studio was a reflection area. I am a procrastinator by trade, and I love sitting with my thoughts and letting my imagination fly. So I decided a corner of the studio will be a reading nook. It will be a space for reading, knitting, and thinking. The bookshelf, which had all my art supplies originally, will now have books, and I have sourced a couple of vertical open shelves that I will use to keep all the art supplies. Books and reading are uniquely like portable magic. So having books on display in the reflection area makes perfect sense. To paraphrase the famous author and poet Julia Verde, instead of letting books grow moldy behind an iron grating, far from the vulgar graze, let them wear out by being read. I wanted to achieve functionality here. This means two things. One, an allotment for all things in the studio. At the end of the day, when I am done using the supplies, I can put it back in its place without thinking anything of it. It also means an easy cleanup. And secondly, ease of access. On so many occasions, I have a clear idea of a painting and I want to paint. But then I realize I can't find a particular brush or paint, and then I have to go looking for it. And by the time I find it, the excitement to paint is gone, and all I'm left with is just irritation. I don't want that to happen anymore, so everything will be easy to see and reach. The function of a design is letting design function. With that thought in my mind, a plan of action decided, and a bare and open space to begin work on, I think this will be a good run. Thanks for sticking around and seeing the transformation. I hope to show you more of the studio design soon. Thank you.